Welcome back, terrestrials, to the Quarantine Movie Reviews. In today's episode, we're going to be talking HOUSE LLC. This movie can be found on Shudder, and I believe now it's on Amazon Prime as well. It's a found footage haunted house style movie.
Nope. I went to one once, and I swear everybody in the haunt was on a smoke break. We went through it, nothing happened, okay? Nothing happened, and then when me and Tara were walking out, we saw everybody in the backyard. A guy with a leather face mask, and the chainsaw's next to him, and he's got the mask up on over his head, and he's smoking a cigarette. And I was like, worst money spent ever.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, it's a mockumentary. Basically, professional haunters, 50 miles outside of New York City. 15 people lost their lives on opening night, and this is a mockumentary, explaining what happened that night with spooky effects.
I really had to convince him to watch this one. It took a while.
Yeah, I have to admit to our audience, first, thank you for watching. Second, I don't like found footage movies. I can take them, I can deal with them sometimes, but I am not the biggest fan of found footage movies. I understand their place in the history of the halls of horror. This also is a trilogy movie. We did not watch all three of them.
He didn't.
I didn't watch all three of them.
I've seen them all.
Yes.
Alright, so this movie entails Sarah, Alex, Paul, Mac, and Tony. They throw haunted houses for a living. And they come to the Abaddon Hotel in New York. And this is the set of their newest haunted house for the year. As they start to fix this hotel up, this abandoned hotel up, spooky things starting to happen, and they get crazier and crazier, leading up to Halloween night, the opening night, where, like Jerry said, 15 people lose their lives because something happens.
Yes. The cast of characters, the five original haunters, the people who run the HOUSE LLC, the company, I got lost with them. I had to eventually go back because it's my job. There's really just three main characters. The rest are just bland white meat.
Right.
But telling a story through the found footage, kind of thing where it's that quick camera, fast pace and stuff, you get lost. There might be 15 people there already, but because we focus on certain characters, don't worry about names. Just try to pick up on details of people and stuff. That's the guy with the mustache. He's the one with the goatee. That's the lady of the group. Things of that nature. But, like I said, does it take me away from it completely and stuff? No. I watched this movie. I watched it all 3 times.
Plus that half a time that you started it that one time and decided.
Yeah. Hey, you should watch this movie. Yeah, I'll do that. Did you watch it? I started it.
Yeah. That's about what I got for a couple weeks, and then finally we moved into let's do Hell House.
Yes, let's do this and stuff. Jacob, if you had a Magic DVD player right now, you put this movie in the Magic DVD player, and it would play the movie that you wanted, what would you have changed? Is there anything that you have changed about this movie in particular?
That's a good question. I think that the movie all around did a pretty good job. I think it did exactly what it wanted to do. As far as changing things, not really.
Yeah.
I think that the scares were appropriate and within the realm of reality.
Yeah.
They didn't go out of their way to make something crazy happen that you wouldn't believe. The in-depth story is good, with the hotel being built specifically in Abaddon
Yeah.
because the guy who built it, Andrew Tully, says that in some versions of the Bible, the gateway to hell is in Abaddon. So he went to Abaddon, New York, built this hotel to open a gateway to hell. And that's the subplot of this movie. You don't see any of this happen, but that's why the tragedies do happen.
Yeah.
So I think that the story was good. It was solid. The people, their chemistry, it really did kind of feel like they knew each other already. The scares were good. I don't know, man. I think that this is probably one of the best found footage movies out there right now. So, no.
Okay. Let's take a minute and talk about the difference between found footage and like what we'll call a cinema movie in the sense of like lockdown shots, things of that nature.
Okay.
I would love this movie if they would have done like this movie in a lockdown shot where, you know, like your classic horror and things of that nature. Like not seeing it through documentary eyes or found footage, but more of like, you know, how modern day horror, you know, is shot. What do you think about that idea? Like, where we would tell a story through that.
I'm curious to hear your opinion on it because I don't think that the movie would work that way.
That's what I would change.
Okay.
I think if we, you know, same scenes, same script, same, you know, shots, basically, but instead of found footage, we would be the third person, you know, the unknown person with the camera and stuff, not holding the camera, but, you know, where you see, you know, like in like an Avengers movie, there's nobody holding the camera while they do their action scene, but where we could tell story through moving pictures, where we get information that the cast of characters are not aware of too, where you get to see maybe.
Well, I think they did that in this movie as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, they had the security cameras, where we saw things that the cast of crew didn't see. But I'm just saying more of like a cinematic. I think that's really what gets me with found footage sometimes is like I really like cinematic scenes. I like good cinematography, and a good shot set scene can be really creepy, a la Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, where like lockdown scenes and just a flow of a camera can be scary itself. When, you know, the little boy is riding on the three-wheeler in the hotel,
Yeah.
you know, it's still moving because it's on a dolly, but because it's locked down and we're low and we see the twins at the end of the hallway with Danny, it's frightening.
So, in order to enjoy this movie, you need Dramamine.
Dramamine?
Yeah, because you get motion sickness.
Oh, I don't know about Dramamine. I was sitting here like, is that the stuff they put in Robitussin?
I mean, I understand your idea for a lockdown shot.
Yeah.
But I think that the shaky cam and the running with the camera, I think that all adds to the scare factor. And yes, you're right, the camera can shoot things to make it scary. There's one scene in the movie where they're outside filming a commercial on a bench, and they pan over, and it's a really wide shot of the girl just standing in front of like a Mother Mary statue, and she's just standing there staring at it. And you know, it's a creepy scene, and it's a well shot scene, and it's a steady scene. There's no shaky camera to it. But to bring back your point, The Shining was a multi-million-dollar movie. This was probably made for 50 grand. You know, so you got to work with what you got.
Yeah.
So I think that probably is why they did it that way. They couldn't afford dollies and, you know, shoulder cam or chest straps to make a nice swinging, you know, motion. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
That's something definitely to think about.
yeah. This also brings up my next topic I would like to talk about is the difference between scare and startle. In Jaws, people were scared to go back into the water after seeing it. Are you scared to go into one of these, like, carnival houses? Carney haunted houses? Or is there repellence to those now and stuff after seeing this movie?
It doesn't repel me
Okay.
so much as it does. It adds another layer of effectiveness to it. Startled and scared to me are kind of, they go hand in hand. Typically, if you're startled, your heart races, you know, your mind starts racing,
Yeah.
you get shaky, whatever the case is. Same thing when you're scared, your adrenaline just starts pumping.
Yeah.
So, having seen this movie, will I go to a haunt now? No,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
I won't go to them anyway. I hate those things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of them. I've been to a handful, you know, at King's Dominion and stuff, but
It's the smell of that fog.
yeah,
I can't breathe
I know,
that
it's
stuff
weird
in.
that people don't think that holds a smell.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I can't. What's the high point in this movie? What would you say is like the okay? You had to sell this movie to someone. Oh man, you should watch HOUSE LLC because of this scene. What scene would that have been?
Okay, well, if I have to just pick the one scene, I think it's initially when Paul walks to the basement because he hears noise, and he turns and sees that clown mannequin.
Yes.
And then he looks down. He thinks it's one of his friends joking. He looks down and pans back, and its head has moved.
Yeah.
And then he's showing it to his friends and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, how'd you do it? You're fucking with us." I think that is probably the initial, like, "Oh shit, this actually has some validity," because that was creepy as shit.
Yeah.
And especially because in the scene you see them like touch the mannequin immediately after, and it's just a moving rubber head. So
Yeah, that clown, it's good. That goes to my next point. Do you think this movie was like they started writing it and then they got someone to make that clown mask prop and they were like, man, we should just make this like the thing in there because they do more with that clown than they do with anything else.
that's true.
And I was wondering, I wonder if that prop, like, or like somebody was sitting there going, we should just make a creepy clown movie. But that clown was probably one of the high points in that, and they used it like 4 times.
Well, okay, so there's 4 main scares
Yes.
in this thing. There's the clown, which every time it comes on the screen, it's fucking scary.
Yes.
I think they went to Spirits and bought the thing and painted blood on its eyes. It works.
Oh, looks like someone might have made that one.
Oh, okay. Well, so there's that clown. There's the ominous black figure that you keep seeing that is not revealed.
Yes.
Then there's the girl, Sarah, herself, that starts speaking in tongues and finding herself in weird places, and they find her in weird places.
Yeah.
Then there's the girl in Paul's room. So there's 4 main things that are the scare factor, the big scare factors. There's little things like the pianos and the silverware and dining room set stacking itself, and there's other scares in this movie, but those are the main scares. And I think that they all worked. They all complemented each other well.
Yeah, I will say where Paul gets scared by the girl in his room and stuff, and he hides under the blankets, I chuckled a little.
Yeah, the hiding under the blanket part was chuckling.
Hiding under the blanket part was chuckling.
And another thing, who sleeps with their door wide open with all their friends? Like if you lived in a house with other people and stuff, you close that goddamn door.
Okay.
Especially with that red light behind him.
In your house, you can close that door. In a haunted fucking hotel, you don't close the door. You need the quickest exit, and you don't want to fiddle with doors because demons and shit lock doors. We know this. We've seen these movies, Jerry. Time and time again, they run to the door. Something is holding the door closed.
Yeah.
You leave that. You take the fucking door off the hinges in a creepy ass old hotel like that. Anyways, back to that. Yeah, that part of him under the blanket was chuckly.
Yes.
I don't know why I'm saying chuckly as if that's a word, but
It is now.
It is now.
I don't know about you. I'm a quickest exit, the window.
Yeah, jump out a second story window, knock yourself out.
Huh? Better than being possessed by a demon.
Fair enough.
Do we want to talk about the Great White Concert? In the 2000s, there was a Great White Concert, a horrible tragedy, where the band decided to put on pyro. The concert venue, a little bar, caught on fire. There are scenes in this where someone is holding a cell phone and people are trying to get out, and it looks identical to the Great White Concert of these people trying to get out, go, and stuff. And I'm just like, wow, this is really like what do you call it when you're watching something and it's like, oh, too soon or something. It feels just, oh man.
You might be the only other person than whoever died in that knows about that. I've never heard that.
When we go back to found footage and stuff, how come horror seems to... I've only know, like, between horror and maybe one or two comedies that are technically found footage. How come they stick to that?
What comedies do you know that are found footage?
Borat, Bad Grandpa...
Those
are found footage.
They're not found footage. They're just bullshit, horribly shot things.
I love...
those are skits. Those aren't like...
Yeah, but it's...
found footage.
But it's still...
That's like, candid jokes and stuff caught on camera. Like, that's what those are. Horror does found footage. And I think it's like one of the only things that does found footage. But I think it's just another layer of scare factor. And on top of that, it's the only place it works.
Yeah.
Like, you can find me a romantic comedy of found footage.
Action movie? Like a good action movie where they have like
what?
Cameras. Okay, it's Will Smith and Kevin Hart, and they have camera helmets and they're running through, and they pay Will Smith for a day to do some dialogue, and then they get some...
There's scenes in comedy movies that are found footage.
Oh, yeah.
But...
it's that Blair Witch thing. I think no matter what, we will always be searching for the Blair Witch, that trope. Yeah. That's...
All right.
That's what I got.
All right. How many Steven Skulls?
I'm just joking. No Seagulls.
How many bags of popcorn?
Popcorn. I'll give it 5. I'll give it 3 bags.
Pretty run of the mill.
Yeah. In the middle. I mean, am I glad I watched it? Yes. Will I be watching it after this and stuff, probably not.
Depends on
But-
what comes out of that bucket, buddy.
Yeah, but but I will support the movie. I mean, I always support horror in general and stuff. I like The Lords of Salem, so I will enjoy a good horror movie or a horror movie in general.
Suburban Sasquatch. So I think I will give this 3.5 bags of popcorn as a movie in general.
Going to a half.
As a found footage movie, I would probably give it 4.5. In that genre, there is not much that I've seen that is better.
Mm.
Cloverfield sucked. Like all the paranormal activities, all those were garbage. So, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
where I'm
like-
at with that.
The Paranormal Activity, and it's like watching a heart meter, where what you want with a scary movie is a gradual incline, where with a lot of these style of movies, it just looks like this. It just goes like on a straight line, and all of a sudden,
Yeah.
and then it's a straight line, and then and then it gets to the end of the movie, and then it goes and then it like usually ends with like a zoom in. So, but yeah, go see it.
All right, there you have it.
It's on Shudder.
folks. It's on Shudder. It may be on Amazon. Don't quote me. Let me know. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share. And a quick apology to NYA for putting your video on Suburban Sasquatch. We should have found a better video review of something for you to premiere on next time.
Bye.
Bye.